Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents 22 and One Timer by Toni Aleo, narrated by Jillian Macie. 1. The Brooks Family. I want to watch SpongeBob. No, Ariel. Yeah, Mermaid, I want to watch Ariel. Lucas Brooks covered his face with his hands before he yelled from his bedroom, "There are 9 TVs in this house. Separate." But she has the popcorn, and he has the milk. Daddy, I want to be with Asher. Why are they eating popcorn at 7 a.m.? Groaning, he looked over at his wife, who was cuddled deep into the bed, her dark brown hair covering her face as her thick, plump lips pursed out toward him. He almost leaned over and kissed her, but he was exhausted. I don't know. Where is Aiden? I don't know. What's the point of having an older kid if he isn't going to care for the crazy little ones? I don't think that's why we had them so far apart. Lucas scoffed. Says you. Fallon giggled as she scooted over toward him, cuddling into his shoulder. Both of them knew the real reason for the big age gap between their children, though they never talked about it anymore. In their eyes, they did this on purpose, and really, it didn't matter because they were happy. Mom, Asher won't give me some milk. Stella backwashes. Mommy, I'm thirsty. Can I have some sweet tea? Daddy, I want tea. What in the hell? Lucas muttered, staring at the ceiling as Fallon continued to giggle. Why are they up so early? The game was late. Who knows? I'm exhausted. So am I. Lucas groaned, and he was. He felt the pain all over his body from the big win over St. Louis that advanced the Assassins to the second round. His whole body was aching. He wasn't like his young self that bounced back after a hard-fought game. No, Lucas Brooks needed a good week after a game like the one the night before. It had gone into overtime, and the Blues had been playing desperate hockey. But by the grace of God, Jensen Monroe didn't let any in, and Vaughn Johansson scored the winning goal. Vaughn had wanted to make his night even better since he had just proposed to his girlfriend and found out she was pregnant. So last night's win was a biggie for everyone. Though Lucas wished he had a solid month to recuperate before the next one. But he didn't. He only had a few days of rest before the second round started. But really, where is Aiden? I have no clue. Text him. That means I have to move, he complained, and she rolled her eyes before throwing her arm behind her to find her phone. Bringing it to her face, she dialed their son's number, putting the call on speaker. Hello? Lucas closed his eyes. Aiden's manly voice still was like a punch to the gut. His baby was growing fast, and it was killing him slowly. Baby, where are you? Aiden let out an exasperated breath. Out front, where I always am. Where are you? Fallon looked to Lucas as he looked back at her. Excuse me? Oh my God, Mom. Did you forget I had training for Summer League this morning? Throwing the blankets off, she sat up. Not at all. I'm running late. You forgot. Lucas laughed as Fallon shot daggers from her eyes. I did not. I'm coming. If you would let me drive, this wouldn't be a problem, Aiden reminded her. If you cut your hair, maybe we'd buy you a car, Lucas called out, and Aiden laughed. You're just jealous I have hair. Hush it, both of you. I'm coming, she said, hanging up the phone and throwing on some sweatpants. I can't believe I forgot. I can't believe he went after not getting home until midnight last night. She shot Lucas a deadpan expression. Okay, I can. I would have. Exactly, he's his daddy's son. Lucas grinned. He is. Then he glared, running his hands along his thinning hair. I have good hair, right? She laughed. Yes, baby, lots of great hair. He has more. He's going through puberty. He raised a brow. I think he's past that. She shook her head. I don't know if we can wait till his birthday to give him a car, Lucas, she said, pulling her hair up as she glanced back at him. That's all you, babe. I told you to give him mine, and I'll go get a new truck. He wants a sports car. And I don't give two fucks. That kid isn't going to be driving a better car than what I had. He can have a nice Ford and be happy, or he can walk, if his mama would let him. What does that mean? You're overprotective as hell. I am not. You are. She glared. But he is a good kid, Lucas. The best, and he'll be happy with my Ford. Ugh, okay, she groaned, before leaning down and kissing his lips. He savored her for a moment, grabbing her butt. Can we make him wait a bit longer to be picked up? She chuckled, desire flashing in her eyes. I doubt you can move. He looked sad. I can't. She laughed as she kissed him again. Can we give the car to him today? Tomorrow. Her brows rose. Why tomorrow? Because I can't move and I have to go buy a new car for me. She laughed, smacking his chest, which made him wince. I'll be back. Be careful, he called as she headed out of the room, just as Emery ran right into her. Picking up their youngest, Fallon kissed her loudly on the lips. Be good. Me? Emery asked. You. Why? Because you want cake at Sissy's birthday, don't you? Oh, I'll be good. Fallon rolled her eyes, placing their daughter on her feet before waving back at Lucas. Emery ran to him, jumping on the bed and breaking his bones further. He groaned out as Emery cuddled into him, and he closed his eyes. Daddy? Yes, love? I love you. He smiled into her hair, kissing her temple as his arms came around her, holding her tight. He'd never known he could love any child as much as he loved Aiden. Lucas could still recall the first moment he saw his son, outside of Fallon's house, begging her for a chance to reconnect after 7 years of separation. But then Aiden walked out, and Lucas knew Aiden was his son, and boy, did he fall in love. Head over heels for the kid. Lucas never thought any kid could come close to his love for Aiden. But then Asher came. His spunky, dry-humored little geek. The kid was always on his computer, always busy making something, and damn smart. Asher was great on the ice, though Lucas didn't think he'd go far with it. He was too obsessed with computers and rebuilding them. His first love wasn't the ice. It was making things tick. But Lucas was proud nonetheless, especially considering the fact that Aiden's drive to make it to the NHL was enough for the whole family. In all reality, Lucas had been set with 2 great boys. But then, by the grace of God, came Stella, his little diva. She looked just like Fallon, breathtakingly stunning, with big brown eyes and thick brown hair. She had her mama's looks, and God help him, her mouth, too. Those 2 went at it daily, mostly about clothes and hair. But his little girl had his heart, and of course, he was wrapped around her finger. That was it, until Emery came. She was a complete surprise, but in a way, she was the missing piece in their lives. Their family had been off balance and needed her quirky little brand of badass. While Emery favored both Fallon and him physically, she had his demeanor with Fallon's mouth. It was a bad combination, because while she was ruining your life, she was making you feel right about it. Unlike her sister, Emery didn't care about hair or clothes. She cared about being a fairy princess, which, for an almost 4-year-old, he figured was logical. But she was Daddy's princess. Holding his sweet baby, he couldn't help the grin on his lips, though he was aching in spots he hadn't even thought he could ache. He had taken a hard hit into the boards, coming down and slamming his head on the ice. Thank God for a helmet, because his brain would have been scrambled eggs if not. But he was feeling every bit of it now. Though he couldn't think of that. All he could think about was how much his life had changed. He used to be a lonely bachelor, living life in the fast lane and enjoying the NHL. But when he moved to Nashville, everything changed. Fallon happened. And now Lucas couldn't imagine his life without her and their kids. Between playing and being his kid's biggest fan, he didn't see any other point to life. Oh, yeah, and loving Fallon. But that came naturally. That woman was his world. Everything was great in the Brooks household. Now, if only his body could stop hurting and aching, things would be grand. Oh, and if his kids could stop growing. And he needed the Assassins to bring home the cup. Yup, then Lucas Brooks would be a happy man. I love you too, Lovebug. Can I still have cake if I'm bad? What did Mama say? She pouted. Do you love cake, Daddy? I do. Me too. He smiled, kissing her head. I know, Lovebug. Can we watch Ariel? She sat up, her eyes wide and gray like his. She had Fallon's lips, though, and the shape of her face. Her hair was in pigtails with big pink bows in them that he was sure Stella had put in. Please, you're my favorite daddy. I'm your only daddy. She nodded. And my favorite. He smiled. Do I have to move? She thought that over. No. Then, yes. Pulling up in front of Aiden's private school, Fallon hit the brakes, slamming forward as she looked over to where Aiden was standing, shaking his head. Gone was her baby, replaced by a hormone-driven monster with long hair. Actually, he was the greatest kid in the world, and she loved him more than anything. But God, she hated his hair. He looked like a damn fool, especially with that stupid man bun. But boy, was he handsome. Just like his daddy, he had a strong bone structure, thick dark brows, and dark gray eyes. He was beautiful, and if she didn't know he was a good kid, she'd lock him up. Opening the back, he threw in his bag. Hey, Mom. Hey, honey. Hey, Aiden. Fallon about broke her neck trying to see who was calling her son's name. She saw a pair of girls standing beside the stairs, in what she felt were 2 short skirts. Sure, they were cheerleading skirts, but still. Fallon glared as Aiden turned, tipping his chin at them. Hey. Are you going to the dance on Friday? Probably not. I've got a game. One of them puckered her lips. Can you come after? He shrugged. I don't know. I'll let you know. Have a good practice. Okay, I'll save you a dance. When he flashed her a grin, his dimples shining in all their precious glory, Fallon shook her head. There was Lucas Brooks reincarnated. Cool. See ya. Closing the back, Aiden walked around, and she swore he had grown another inch or so. Opening the door, he climbed in and looked over at her. You know, being the oldest, I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to be forgotten. Emery is. Fallon glared. Shut up. I'm exhausted. It was a late night. How did you even get here? Braden's mom drove me like you asked her to at practice. Fallon paused as she moved the shifter of her van into drive. I did, didn't I? You did, he said dryly, throwing his legs up on the dash as he started to play on his phone. Hey, at least I got that far, she decided, hitting the gas. Thank God. Practice was good? Great. Coach is happy with me. Good. Heard Bellevue is looking at me. Fallon glanced over at him. From whom? Coach. Oh. Yeah. He said I should talk to my counselor. For what? I have enough credits to graduate this summer and start over there if I wanted. Fallon's heart stopped. You just turned 17. Yeah. Do you want that? Yeah. He laughed, looking over at her. Mom, I want to go to college so I can go into the draft. The Sinclair brothers all went to Bellevue. I need that exposure before I enter the draft. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Too much. This was her baby, her firstborn, and he was ready to go. He was itching for the NHL. He wanted to play like his father. He wanted to live his hockey dreams. And all she wanted for him was to go back to fighting hippogriffs. "Talk to your father about this. You're making my head hurt." Aiden laughed. "Mom, I'm getting older. I'm practically a Shut your dirty mouth, Aiden James Brooks." He laughed harder as she turned down the main road. "Where are we going?" "Audrey's." "Why?" "I gotta get some donuts she made for your father for winning last night, and then I gotta approve the cake she's making for Stella's birthday next weekend." "Do I have to go to that?" She flashed him a dirty look. "You mean your sister's birthday?" "Yeah." "Of course you do. You're the damn crab, Sebastian." "You're kidding." "No," she said simply. "I hope the costume fits." "Oh my God." "I even hired a photographer, so when you're in the NHL and they need those pictures of you growing up, I'll have one." "You're horrible." "I try." He scoffed, and she grinned over at him before pulling onto the road that held Audrey Jane's. "So, who were those girls?" "Addie and Melissa." "Your fans?" "Everyone is my fan," he said, waggling his eyebrows, and she laughed. "I'm practically a hockey-playing god, Mom." "All right, pump the brakes there, mister. You're no Von Johansson." Aiden laughed. "Jojo is amazing." "He is, but he's cocky as all hell," she said simply, pulling into Audrey Jane's and parking beside her baby sister's car. Getting out, they went inside, just as Fallon's niece Penelope hollered out, "Welcome to Audrey Jane's." Fallon beamed as Aiden ran after Penny, gobbling her up and tickling her, before Audrey came out of the back, a grin on her face. "Hey!" "Hey, you," Fallon said, kissing the back of Penny's head. "You're here early." "Yeah, I forgot to pick my kid up after practice, so here I am. Where is Philippe?" "With Tate. He didn't want to come in." Fallon nodded. "How's Tate feeling?" Audrey exhaled loudly, since the subject of her husband, the Assassins' starting goalie, Tate Otter, was a touchy one. He had a serious groin injury and had had surgery about 2 months ago, but he still wasn't recuperating from it well. An infection had spread and knocked him down some more, long after the doctors had assumed he would be back on the ice. So it was easy to say the Otter family was very tense. "Lots of pain, but I guess he's getting better. He doesn't talk about it. He mainly asks me to make cupcakes. He's pissed he missed last night. Thank God Jensen did great." "Right," Fallon agreed with a nod. "Well, hopefully he'll be up and at it soon." "I don't know, Fal. I just don't know." "What does that mean?" Aiden asked. "Uncle Tate's okay, isn't he?" Audrey faked a grin. "Of course. Come here. You want a cupcake?" Aiden laughed. "You know, I'm 17. You can't distract me." "Whoa, are those cookie dough?" Audrey smiled happily at Fallon as she shook her head, and Aiden took the cupcake. "Come on, I'll show you the cake for Stella, and your donuts are right there." Aiden looked at the donuts. "Can I have one?" "Save one for your dad." "Okay," he said with a mouthful as she followed Audrey to the back. "Kid has a tapeworm, I swear. He's always eating." Audrey laughed. "He's always been an eater. It's not fair." "Agreed." As Fallon followed her into the kitchen, Audrey looked back at her sister. "I think he might have to retire." "Who? What? Tate?" Fallon's eyes widened. "Never." "Yeah, he is grief-stricken about it, and things are bad, but he can't seem to get better. I don't know. I told him he needs to decide." "Wow." "Yeah, it's not good. We're fighting a lot, and he's withdrawn because he feels like a failure. Shit's so bad, he started to go see Ren Lemire, the team's therapist." "Good for him," Fallon said, exhaling hard. "I hate that for him, though." Audrey nodded as she turned on her computer. "Me too. At least you don't have to worry about that. Lucas has got at least 9 more years in him." Fallon shot her sister a wry smile. He creaks when he walks. I'm waiting for him to tell me he's done. He won't. I know, which makes me nervous. Yeah, but, you know, Lucas would be okay. Tate, he's not. And I just want my happy husband back. I'm worried he won't be happy without hockey. No, he has you guys. He loves you three so much. I know he does, and he is the best father ever. Sucky in the husband department right now, but I get it. We'll be okay. You will, she said, wrapping her arms around her sister. Don't worry. Thanks. Audrey hugged Fallon back as the computer came on. Okay, here it is, the best Ariel cake for my niece. Fallon grinned as she took in the perfect 7 tiers of Ariel-themed cake. She'll flip her shit. That's my goal. It's perfect. Awesome, she said, shutting her computer lid. I'll be over next Saturday morning to set everything up. Cool. Fallon leaned her hip to the counter as she met her sister's gaze. Audrey had changed so much over the years. She used to be obsessed with her weight. Now she stayed healthy, even if she was rounder than she used to be. Kids would do that, though. One thing was for sure. Even with all the shit going on, Audrey had a grin on her face that Tate and the kids had put there. Her sister was complete, and like she'd said, she would be okay. Fallon just knew it. But Fallon was pretty sure she was going to have her own mini heart attack. Aiden told me his coach said he could probably graduate early and that Bellevue might want him. Audrey's jaw dropped. What? Yeah. What did you say? For him to talk to his father? Audrey laughed. Fallon? What? It would be great. He's a baby. He's 17. He's a great kid, smart and talented as hell. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I want him to do it. If it's going to be what's best for his career, then he has to, you know? Biting her lip, Fallon nodded. We'll see what my husband says. If he can even move. Audrey smiled. He's sore today? Yes, bless him. I don't know if he'll make it through the whole series in one piece. He is old now. He isn't a spring chicken for sure. Fallon grinned. Except in the bedroom. Ew! Fallon snorted as Audrey shook her head and then smiled. I think they're going to go the whole way. I feel it. Fallon nodded. I do too. Rumor is Ellie was in the locker room crying last night. She's so emotional. Think she's pregnant again? Fallon laughed. Lord, I hope not. Right, she's already so damn busy. I know. Fallon shook her head. Are you going to Lucy's baby shower next Sunday? Did you not check the group? Fallon just looked at her. Obviously not, Audrey. It's been postponed until further notice. Why? Because of the playoffs. That's dumb. Why plan it around the playoffs then? I don't have an answer for that, but they called me asking to hold off on the cake. Oh. Yeah, which is good, 'cause I can focus on Stella's cake. This is true. Ariel needs all your attention anyway. Audrey grinned as she leaned into her sister. You know, you can come by more. Same for you, or come to the winery and I'll get you drunk. Audrey beamed. That's a plan. Mom, let's go. Penny is going to make me fat. Penny's giggles met them in the kitchen, and Fallon laughed. Kid couldn't get fat if he tried. Right? Audrey asked, shaking her head. And what's up with his hair? I don't know. I want to cut it, but he won't let me. Audrey laughed as they went out of the kitchen to find Penny feeding Aiden cookie after cookie. Mom, he whined, and Fallon laughed. Hey, boogie butt. Audrey, Aiden complained, and they all laughed since he hated his nickname. I told you about calling me that. She feigned hurt. You are my baby, and I will call you that if I want. Even when you're a big hotshot hockey player, I'll be in the stands hollering, 'That's my boogie butt.'" "Mom," he groaned, and Fallon just kept laughing. "Anyway, if I throw gum in your hair, will you let me cut it?" He glared. "Stay away from me." "It's so long and dirty," Audrey said, coming toward him. And when Fallon saw the scissors in her hand, she tried to stifle her laughter. "I washed it like 10 minutes ago," he said, slowly stepping back from his aunt. "It's ugly. Let me cut it." She went for the bun, but he deked around her, running to Fallon and hiding behind her, which was pointless since he was practically 7 times her size. "Leave me alone. Mom, tell her to leave me alone." "We're leaving." Picking up the donuts, well, the 3 that were left, Fallon shook her head. "Bye, Pennyloaf," she called to Penelope. "Bye, Auntie." "Bye," Audrey sang. "I'll get you later, Aiden James." Going outside, Aiden looked over at Fallon. "You won't let her cut my hair, right?" "I mean, if she gets to you before I do, I'm sorry for you." "I look amazing." "You look like a damn fool," she said, opening the door. "But I love you." He shot her an exasperated look. "Do I really have to be Sebastian next weekend?" "No," she laughed, shaking her head. "Asher is Sebastian. You're Flounder." "Mom." With a grin on her lips, she got in the car. But she'd be lying if she said she wasn't worried about Aiden. Or Tate. Or even her dinosaur of a husband at home, who might, or might not, make it through the playoffs. 2. Don't leave me. When Fallon got home, Aiden held the door as she walked through, a grin on her face. "I did well with you." He shot her a wry smile. "Or Dad beat me until I remembered to hold the door for women." "That too." "Aiden!" Asher hollered, running up and wrapping his arms around his brother's waist. "I need you." Aiden beamed. "What happened?" "Toot Hoot invaded my world and burned it to the ground. I need you to come help me retaliate," Asher exclaimed, acting as if his game of Minecraft was real life, while Fallon thought it was a bunch of bullshit. Setting her purse on the bench, she looked back as Aiden's eyes widened. Aiden nodded, his brow furrowing. "Oh, it's going down." "Right." "Yeah, That'll have to wait, Aiden James." Aiden and Asher looked up at her, both of them on the verge of complaining until she held up her hand. "Asher, William, you have a room to pick up, and Aiden has to talk to Daddy." Asher looked up at Aiden, his eyes wide, and Aiden waved him off. "I'm not in trouble." "Oh, good. I didn't want you getting grounded during this time of importance." "Agreed, bro," he said, tapping his fist to his brother's as he went to the garage to put his bag away. Before Fallon could get far, though, Asher stopped her. "Mama, can I read after I clean my room? Like, I don't have anything to do today, right?" "Nope. You only have 3 days till school starts back. You finished that advanced reading stuff?" Asher grinned. "Yeah, Mom, like last week." She rolled her eyes. "Of course you did, smarty pants. Okay, go do you." He wrapped his arms around her, and she squeezed him before he ran off down the hall. Fallon smiled as she walked around the living room, picking up random toys and crap and throwing it down the hall. She could hear the girls upstairs singing to Ariel. Usually she'd tell them to cool it, but she had to talk to Lucas. Heading toward the kitchen, she called out, "Lucas, I need you in the kitchen." He moaned from their bedroom. "Why?" "'Cause I do. Get your Jurassic ass up and come on." Aiden scoffed as he shut the garage door, going to the fridge. "Jurassic butt." She hadn't known he was there, but it wasn't like he hadn't heard her lose her shit in the car before. "Fal, for real, I'm dying." "For real, we need to talk." "For real, I'm legit dying." For real, Lucas Brooks, Aiden needs to talk to us. Ugh, why?
Sample complete. Ready to continue?